to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review update video, I guess. Tonight, as usual, there's my kilt, is a interview with the Rhino with myself and Christopher. So that'll take place at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're looking at about an hour and 30 minutes from now. But I thought I'd get some updates going because we have been talking a lot of things like job and health and all that. As you can hear, not back to 100%, but I'm coming. I think he never tested me for an ear infection, but I have a lot of pain right back here and in this ear. So I'm curious if that was the culprit for everything. I'm going to have to try and get to the clinic Monday because this actually, I just noticed this today. And if I need medicine, I want to get the medicine, basically, is what it comes down to, right? Don't have benefits yet, so it's going to be a hard time. My wife's diabetic, so she just got her prescription. It was like $350 for all of her stuff for the month. She has to wait till month 6 to get her benefits. My benefits are another month and a half away, but we will get there. Job updates, because we keep talking job stuff. A few people were like, "Oh, you have to grind. You need to be working in the brewing industry. You need to grind. You need to make sure that they have." So I applied to 3 jobs to 1 brewery in the last 2 weeks, and today I had an Indeed message going, "Hey, if you haven't heard back from this job, you should send a quick message. People that send a quick message hear back better." So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send a quick message. I'm like, you know what? If you're looking for somebody that eats, sleeps, and bleeds the beer industry, who has 15 years experience in the beer industry, be it being a brewing consultant, being a beer judge, being a cicerone, being a teacher, running my own events, doing social media, be it whatever it is, I'm your guy. If that's not what you're looking for, well then hire whatever. But probably sabotage my own shit, because this time I was going hard at it. I'm like, you know what? No, we're not just sitting back. We're going to go hard. So we went. I do have an interview on Tuesday for a store manager position at the Bulk Barn. My best employment lead I've had in the past few weeks was actually it was actually a scam. And I knew it was a scam right off the bat because it went to an email that's never been set up to Indeed or LinkedIn or anything like that. And it was, "We saw your thing on LinkedIn. I'm Patricia from Quasar Tech, some company that's supposed to be in England." They were all over TikTok for being a scam, because what they do is send you a contract. You'd sign a contract, and your first day of work, they'd send you to an ATM to do something with cryptocurrency. And I was like, yeah, I'm so glad. But you knew right away, like the people that have fallen, like just the way it was written, just everything about it. First and foremost, again, not the email that is attached to my Indeed, because it went to the Albino Rhino beer review at gmail.com email. And I don't mind saying that one out loud because that one's known. It's the one that's attached to my Facebook. It's the one that's attached to my beer festival. It's the one that's attached to this channel. So I don't mind that one being known per se. But I kind of giggled at it because it was like $37 an hour as a customer service rep. And I'm like, yeah, that's not right. But people have fallen for it. And I kind of giggled because it has been the best lead I've had in a while. With District Brewing, again, I applied for their customer relations manager, and they've had some brand ambassador positions posted. Now, their brand ambassadors are part-time positions, and they are the people that do their festivals, their events, and pour at their brew house, at the tap room. So and it was like 8 to 20 hours a week, and I'm like, hey, if I keep the job I'm at right now, I'm looking for 8 to 20 extra hours a week. So this might actually be perfect. Gets my foot in the door for the next time a good position opens up in that company, and hey, it is what it is, right? Didn't hear anything from Pile of Bones. Didn't hear anything from Multinational. Didn't hear anything from Rebellion, Bushwhacker, Great Western. I applied for some Great Western stuff too. And there's a bunch of stores and stuff like that that I've applied to. My wife actually talked me into applying for one of the Tip Top Tailor positions that is posted, because I look like the type of guy that would be working in a high-end fashion setting, don't I? Don't I? And maybe by the time I have my phone interview, I won't have this nasally voice going, but I have my interview with Bulk Barn on Wednesday. I've been having a lot of problems getting past the phone interviews. One second. I just gotta let my wife know there is a dog right outside our room. Because I can hear him whining, and I know which one it is. It's the little one. So yeah, things are going okay though, health wise. I think it's an ear infection now. I'm really glad that there was a doctor that wanted to test for all the bad things it could have been, solely because of where I'm working and all that. But um, but at the same time, I just wish I could get better at this point. At least I can taste things again. Still can't really smell anything, which is good when your wife drops the shit she drops. Um, there we go. So the dog has been brought upstairs. It was Judge. I could tell by the whimpering. Daddy, you're not petting me. So yeah. Yesterday I started doing the inside windows, recaulking the inside of the windows. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to start sanding the exterior of the windows so that I can restain them, reseal them. But I'm also going to recaulk all of them. I have some caulking I have to do on the actual foundation. What the hell is this one? Oh, it's Brad. Yeah, see, whatever hit me on Sunday, it was the sickest I've been in years, and I've had COVID 4 or 5 times, maybe six, since I was up in the Arctic. Uh, because we had it in 2022 in January. I had it again in 2022 in March. I had it again at the end of 2022. I got it in 2023, right before we came on vacation. And actually, yeah, I've had it 5 times in the Arctic, and this was I actually thought I was dying on Sunday. I really did, especially when I got out of bed. I got out of bed to go to the washroom, and I was shivering so bad the entire way to the washroom that I was surprised I wasn't peeing icicles. And then I got back to bed. I got under 2 blankets. I apparently tried to burrow under my wife's blanket too, and she pushed me away, saying, "You're fucking hot. Get away from me." And yeah, then I just shivered myself all night. I didn't sleep at all that first night. I did not move out of bed at all Monday. And then Tuesday, I was able to move, but I didn't go into work. I was not myself. So it's been a week, but we're where we are. Cheers to you as well. And yes, tonight is, like I said, interview with a Rhino. We will start that up. Well, it's an hour and 27 minutes now before we start. I will be going to walk one of my dogs before that. I will also be doing some laundry and stuff for the wife before I start that. So I just thought I would do some updates again. House still slowly coming along. As I get money to buy things, I have to go buy my. The reason I haven't done my windows sills yet is I still have to buy the paint, well, the sealant. So I'll buy the sealant this week. I'll do the window sills and all that. Next pay, I'll probably buy another can of the exact same stuff to do the garage. It might take 2 to do the garage. I already have the Tyvek wrap to wrap the bottom of the garage. I have plywood. It's regular plywood, so it's going to have to be sealed to be used, but I think I might use that regular plywood along the bottom of the garage to cover the holes that were made from all the rotting wood. So cover those up. Then sometime over the next 4 months, because you have 4 months to cover Tyvek wrap, I'm going to get some corrugated roof or corrugated metal. The PVC roof panels are so much cheaper, so I might just do PVC roof panels and put them along the bottom of the same 3 feet that is covered by the Tyvek to keep the snow and everything off of the bottom, because the bottom is what's in the worst shape. Put it all the way around, caulk along the top. Bob's your uncle, we're all done. Exterior of the house right now, mostly it's just the painting, the painting, the cleaning the eaves troughs, and the caulking. I do have to caulk the foundation where that's crumbling. I do have the polyurethane to fix that. So that'll be possibly tomorrow's job. And then I got to go work up in the attic, which is the loft, the spare bedroom. I did just notice, and I just noticed it, I'm surprised it took me this long, that the landing for the attic is only done with 2x4s. So you can't put a lot of weight on that landing going up and down. So I'm either going to do a whole bunch of scabbing on of more 2x4s, just because more 2x4s is stronger, or I will actually notch out, because the biggest problem is there's only room for a 2x4 to fit into the ledger. So I may not notch out some 2x6s and scab those to the 2x4 and put them in, so that it's stronger on the downward, but at the same time it's not, because it's still just 4 inches going in instead of 6, but it'll still help. I might scab with the 2x6s, because I have the 2x6s already, because I have to scab on the bathroom area, and then I have to scab around the toilet. I do have to save up the money for 2 jack posts as well. Like I said, we did figure out what was pulling down on the back of the house, and what's pulling down on the back of the house is the back porch. The back porch will be coming off, but I will have to jack post one more jack post over by the furnace and one more jack post along the ledger board that is where the exterior of the house's landing is. And I also have to do 1 or 2 scabs under the landing that goes out to the backyard, because they never sealed that properly, and it's pulling, and it's fucked. So that has to get fixed too. But luckily, not much of it was going to cost a whole bunch of money. It's just getting the money at the time. He'll be drinking with intent. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I needed to do, before we got fucked with the bonuses and everything from the Northwest Company, which put me into the debt I'm in right now. Before that happened, I was supposed to get 2 of the windows done upstairs. There's 4 windows upstairs that have to get done, because they're the original like windows from fucking 70 years ago, like the single pane of glass with the wood that's actually inside the glass, then the like 2-inch break, then another single pane of glass with the wood trim and all that. So those need to get changed, but I was changing out two of them that were obvious drafty, and I was changing out the front and back door. And it was only going to be like $6,000, so it wasn't bad. But then the shit with the Northwest Company happened, and I just didn't have it. I had to go into debt to get the plumbing done, but the two plumbing jobs had to get done. As much as I want to get the window and doors done, if I have to wait another year until I can get a better job and get more on my feet, then that's what it is. The eaves troughs have to get done, but the eaves troughs are pretty easy. The front eaves trough, all it needs is another J post. Basically, it needs another fucking hanger, because there's a hanger missing. So when it rains or when the snow's melting or anything, it drops water directly onto the front porch. Only problem with that. So that just has to get up. That cedar bush in the front, I'm still killing it. I'm down to 2 bushes left of the 4 that, well, at least green parts of the bushes. There's still a lot of bush that has to just get ripped out. And then I got to start working on the roots. But again, that's to save the sewage line going out. It is what it is, right? It's excuse me, what's that? All you need is a chimney. Actually, my chimney, I do have to go up on the roof and do some work on the chimney as well, but not much. It just needs a rain cap and some polyurethane, because there's a crack forming down it. But it's not a structural per se crack. It's just it's a crack on the facade. So we'll use some polyurethane, fill the gap for now, and get a rain cap on it, and everything should be okay with that one. Furnace is brand new, so that's fine. Washer and dryer are still working. Right. I do have to figure out how I'm fixing the laundry tub running into the sewer system, directly into the sewer system. So what I really need to do is lock down that. I basically need to block off that hole in the floor. It's pretty much the floor drain. The floor drain's there, and it's going directly into the floor drain instead of into a sink or anything. It's the same drain that for a while the sump pump used to go into, and now we have a true sump pump that's going outside. And it is what it is, basically, is what it comes down to. We've done what we could with everything we've had. It's for a 100-year-old house, it's in fairly good shape. For a 100-year-old house that was used as a rental, it's in fairly good shape. I am afraid to pull these carpets up. As much as I don't want carpet in the basement, I can feel how unlevel all the floor is and everything under it. I don't want to see it. I just want to accept it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's just fine. That's what it comes down to. Bunch of paint, bunch of caulk is the majority of what has to get done outside. And then some manual labor on that tree. And then some ripping apart of the porch. I might have to rebuild the front stairs, but that's another year or two down the road as well. Oh. And yeah, we got some stuff to build. I bought my lawnmower today. It was a real lawnmower. So, the old real lawnmowers, right? I hate them and love them at the same time. I love them because it doesn't take anything to fix them. They just 2 blades that just spin as you push. It's manual labor. It's what my son's going to start fucking cutting the lawn the way I used to cut the lawn. I personally like gas, but I don't have a big enough lot for gas to be a worthwhile solution or thought. I'm thinking about chain link fencing the front yard. I'm thinking about even doing it the cheap way, like a bunch of T-posts and pound the T-posts in and put the chain link up. Don't even have a top or bottom runner, just posts, T-posts everywhere. Yeah, other than that, yeah, things are going okay. Still looking for the job thing, but that's going to be a while. At least I have a few leads, just whether or not the leads happen. My biggest hatred is when you apply for a job and they're like, "What's your expected salary?" How about this? How about you tell me what you're willing to pay me, and I'll tell you whether I'm willing to work for that or not. Because I know what you're doing. You're trying to find the person with the base. You want the person with who will take the least amount of money, but has the at least bare minimum of the experience you want for the job that you're posting for. And I'm not okay. I'm not underselling myself. I'm not going, hey, I'm going to leave this job that's paying me 44,000 for 45. No, if you're wanting me to be the person that is the one that's in charge of your stuff, better be paying me properly. And that's what it comes down to. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not underselling myself anymore. And these jobs all have a pay range, right? They'll post a well, actually I shouldn't say they all do. There's a lot of jobs that won't even post a pay range. I had a bunch of places too that I applied to for a grocery manager and they're like, "Oh, your skills don't match what we're looking for." Really? Because you were looking for like a year of experience in a grocery store and I have 5 years experience as a grocery manager where I actually had to do everything, where your grocery manager doesn't, because your grocery manager doesn't actually do the orders. It's a perpetual inventory minimum maximum. All he has to do is make sure that the right amount of stock is accounted for in the store, that it's been received properly, and you're accounting for theft and everything else. That he's placing things on the shelf and hiring people and teaching people how to put things on the shelf and putting out labels. Simplest things that I did at my job. But I wasn't okay. Okay. The other problem I have going against me is still the license thing. I had another job recently turn me down because of the license. It was another managerial job. It was another retail managerial job, and it was right next door to the one I'm at right now. Uh, my shirt would change from red to blue, but it was basically the same thing, except the one with the blue shirt would be more car and tool oriented, and the one with the red shirt is more like feed and farmer oriented. It was a lot more money, but I didn't have a license. Like, what do I need a license for? You have the bank come to me. You have like, what do I need the license for? Well, what if the alarm goes off and you have to get here? I go, if it's the middle of the night, I wake my wife up and say, "Hey, honey, we have to go to the store." "Oh well, we'd like you to have a license to do that." I go, "Go fuck yourselves!" Like seriously, this is getting insane now. It's getting insane. But yeah, so like I said, health is getting okay. It's coming along. Work is still the same thing, but we're still working on it. We aren't going to give up. We probably destroyed our chance of getting into district brewing with our. You're either looking for somebody that has all the experience I have, or you're not. But it is what it is. Um, and other than that, there's not much else to talk about. With this update, the dogs are doing good, the kids are doing good, the wife is doing good, the house is still standing. We're still really enjoying our time. We walked to the Cornwall Center today. It was like a half an hour walk there. Cornwall Center had almost nothing in it. It's a few clothing stores, a food court, a Shoppers. That's about it. Walked our way back. You walked through some pretty rough areas to get there. The the front yards and the state of the houses and the state of the front yards would tell me just how rough the area was, which was pretty rough. And it's not very far away from my front door. which is what I talked to my realtor about when we were talking about the undesirable locations of town. Because he's like, "Oh, you're actually in an okay part of town." I go, "Okay, but from what you've told me about what's not the good parts of town, they're only about 40 feet that way. Like, there's no magic wall that just stops all crime. Nobody crosses this wall. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Fuck, my garage got tagged. I don't. I don't really care, but got one of the guys at work is like, was it tagged with an NS, a TS, or an NM? I go, no. He goes, then you don't really have anything to worry about. He goes, what was it tagged with? And I told him. He goes, oh, so somebody tagged it as them. I go, yeah. He goes, you want to know who it is? You go out there late at night one night and tag something underneath it that's basically is making fun of them. See who gets pissed off. That's who did your garage. I don't. It's just getting painted over when I redo the garage. He goes, yeah, they'll probably tag it again after you repaint over it. I go, well, tag it again. Hopefully the fucking giant Great Pyrenees isn't outside because I'll just let her eat them their face. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I really do enjoy Saskatchewan. We are talking about doing a day trip to Moose Jaw in a few weeks. Go because there's a bunch of stuff for the kids to see in Moose Jaw, and there's a bunch of stuff I'd like to see in Moose Jaw, and she'd like to see in Moose Jaw, and Moose Jaw is like 45 minutes away, so we might as well hit Moose Jaw up. There's a bunch of stuff we want to do here. I'm going to do a couple video series as well, vlog video series, not high-end stuff. I'm not going to sit here and pull out the editing computer. I haven't pulled out the editing computer in years. I'm not going to pull it out now. But stuff about things like the Albert Memorial Bridge, which is the world's, they say world's, but I don't think it's probably the world's, but the longest bridge span to cross the smallest amount of water, because it's only crossing like a creek, but it's extremely long to cross that creek. It was basically a World War II find work project, right? And they found work, and they built this bridge. It's a beautiful bridge, it really is. But they it crosses the Wascana, and the Wascana is dammed right there. So right after the dam, it's like a trickle going down. I crossed another bridge kind of like that when I was in the Victoria Square area, going up and down East Quants. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited about the future, and I'm kind of scared about the future. But I mean, that is the thing of life, right? I turned 42 this year, and we were talking about my wife and I about where we were sitting in our thoughts, and I'm like, I thought I'd be a lot further ahead at 42. I really did, but I didn't think I would have started over again 4 times in the span of 7 years, and that's where we're at. We're starting over for the 4th time, and it's hard to start over at this age, especially when you have kids and everything else. Aiden is a handful, and he's a handful because he never had structure or strategies when he was younger, when he was living with his mom, and now he's past his formidable years. He's past his years of training for people with the illnesses he has, and it's banging your head off the wall now about rules and routine and stuff like that. Like, lock the door. How hard is it to remember lock the door? How hard? Dennis Leary did one about close the door, and I have to do that with. That's why the dog was in the basement, because he didn't close the door. You open the door, you close the door. It's not a hard concept, man. It's not. You close the door behind you, especially when there's a staircase like this right there. You just close the door so nobody falls down it, yourself included. Just close the door. Nope, can't close the door. Like, oh, clean your room, lock the door. Take the dogs. This is his chore list, okay? Take out the garbage, clean up the dog poo, take the dogs out. So the dogs are shitting while you're outside with them. Just clean it up then. Then you don't have anything to clean up. There's 3 dogs. You clean it up as you go. You have nothing to worry about. Oh, and lock the doors when you go to bed and when you go to school. Those are his chores. Garbage, dogs in the backyard, dog poop. Lock the door. Do you think he can do those 4 chores without somebody screaming? The answer's no. The answer's no. Do you know what I did at his age in my dishes, watched my brothers and sisters vacuum, mop, laundry. Like, I don't want him to live the life I lived, but at the same time, I'm like, what do I do? I was saying to Alicia, I'm like, I'm really worried about the child. She goes, what do you mean? I go, well, what happens to him when I'm gone? I go, you're not allowed to keep him. He's not your child. My family dies young. So what happens when I go? He doesn't have a connection with his brother or sister. He doesn't have a connection with his sisters that he is inherited through you. I go, he doesn't have connections with anybody. So is he just gonna like be alone in a room until he starves to death because all he did was play video games? Or he's kicked out on the street because all he did was play video games? He didn't go to work or anything to make the money for the house? What happens to this child? And this is the stuff that goes through my mind all the time, right? Like, as much as I try to teach him anything. Like, before I went to the Cornwall Center today, I'm like, Aiden, please sweep the house while we're gone. It's 1 floor. It's 2 rooms. Please sweep while we're gone because I will vacuum and mop. Okay. Got home. We were gone for like 2.5 hours. Do you think any sweeping was done? Do you think any... I'm becoming that damn old man that's sitting... No, my lord, I'm becoming that guy. I am. Like... Oh... It's just, it boggles my mind. I don't understand. All right. I'm going to go get the laundry done. We're going to be live in just over an hour. So hopefully some of you join. Anyway, thank you very much. My ranting and raving is done. Bye-bye.